Hey guys, nice to have you back here. In this video I want to talk about resources and material you can use in your self-commissioned projects. And the internet is packed with nice resources, right? We can get images, we can get lots of fonts to use, lots of data sets to use in our projects. And so this video is not just scoped to the creative coding community. This is basically a video which is also quite interesting for graphic designers who want to work in an experimental way, try out new things and stuff. Because today I really show you the secret places where I get a lot of my data from, which I use to, make experiments and, this stuff I post on Instagram, basically. All right. This is my most recent project here. I call it the Lo-Fi poster machine, and it's basically an application which runs in the web browser, where basically it runs in my website here. It's integrated, and you can do a few cool things here, right? This is a canvas, an HTML5 canvas, and you can choose some text here. Let's say hello world. This is Tim. And this is kind of a real-time design application that runs in the web browser, right? I can just change the parameters here, and it's immediately happening here on this poster canvas. And the cool thing is, this is a full-blown design application, right? This is a full-featured design app. So that means you can click on the Save JPEG button, and you get a printable JPEG in high resolution. You can set any resolution you want. And that's a pretty cool thing. Basically, this is just a very, very quick prototype, but I just wanted to showcase what's possible with web applications for graphic design. But okay, this video is not about this project, but what I want to show you here, I made use of lots of resources which I just collected images from. For example, the Metropolitan Museum of New York, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And basically this application works like, I just can select one of these images, and it in real time applies to the canvas here. So here now I can resize the image. Well, honestly, for myself, I was kind of surprised about how good this works. It just works, it just works. So you can choose nice images and place them. Let me quickly change the layer here, place them on the poster. So this is not me. Hello world, this is Tim. That's not me. Alrighty, so as mentioned, I collected images and also fonts, which you can select here in this application, right? Lots of fonts here from the internet. These are all open source and public domain resources. That means there's something like a law that says when something is in the public domain, it is free to use commercially and also for your own self-commissioned projects. You can use that stuff, right? This is a very special law which says that if the artist or the creator of the work is dead for a longer time than 70 years, his artworks go into the public domain if there is no one else who wants to get the copyright. So that's a little bit difficult, and I'm not I'm not a lawyer, but I know that this law of the public domain is pretty cool, because some images on some resources are flagged either with public domain or with CC0, which means Creative Commons 0. That means you don't have to attribute the person who just made this work. Of course, it's possible to do that also for me, but sometimes you have no control what happens with the work you create. That means maybe some people post that stuff on Instagram and repost it, and then the person who has the copyright is not anymore mentioned, and that's not clean, right? And that's not legal. And and I just want to respect the property of the people. So I just found a few resources that I find really helpful. Let me show you the first one. It is the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And this website is not just a website, it is a huge archive with artworks that are digitalized. That means The museum is basically showing arts from ancient times, like, you know, here you see something from Egypt or China, things that are, most of these artworks are older than 100 years. Some are much older. They are from, you know, thousands of years before. And let's quickly just click on this collection highlights here. My internet sometimes is a little bit lazy, but okay, this is loading now. That's good. All right, so you can see here are some images, right? And the most of them are in the public domain, which is pretty awesome, because imagine you can basically use the art of humanity in your works, right? For your own remixes and your own interpretations. This is a huge thing, because, you know, you don't have to care about good imagery. This imagery is pretty good, and you find a lot of stuff here, from statues to paintings to 3D objects, photographies, well, Islamic art. I've seen something yesterday. Look at this nice thing here, right? So I'm always pretty, I could spend hours on this website to explore the stuff here. And well, this is important. Here is the public domain badge, right? Look for this one. If there is a download button, then it's public domain mostly. But just look for this badge here. If it's public domain, then here is well, public domain put down here. So this is pretty awesome, right? You can use that stuff. So this is from the 11th century. I really like that. Okay, let's go one page further into this archive of the Metropolitan Museum of New York of Art. Well, this is just, you know, just go there for yourself, take a walk around. This is a real museum. You really can. I also can search for something. Let's say I want to search for Islamic art. Let's search for Islamic. We've got a lot of stuff here, right? A lot of calligraphy, a lot of pottery stuff, you know, that's pretty cool. Okay, maybe you don't like ancient art. That's totally okay. I show you something else here. So this is another resource I want to show you. It's called Awesome Public Datasets. It's hosted on GitHub. It has 30,004 stars, which is pretty much. And it is a huge collection of open APIs, of open datasets you can use in any way you want. Of course, this is not, you know, I cannot guarantee you anything about the law here, but most of them are open source, and you can just take the data and do whatever you want with it. Here I found the New York Times API, which I used in one of my experimental websites, which is called The Grid, and it just takes news from the New York Times archive and displays them in a quite experimental way on a website. So you can explore that stuff on my website. And yeah, so much stuff here, right? We've got something about natural language, about neuroscience, finances, art, culture, music. My goodness, geography, lots of maps, and lots of statistics and stuff. And here you can really find pretty good resources for your work. Okay, another resource is called the Public Domain Review. And the Public Domain Review is something like, well, let's say it's a collection. There's somebody who's just collecting public domain imagery, books, illustrations, well, so much things like texts and films and audio files. And you can just go through this collection and, well, explore it. It's pretty awesome. Most of these topics here are quite interesting. As you can see, my internet is very slow. That's Germany, right? The internet in Germany is so slow sometimes. That really sucks so much. Hopefully you have a better connection than me. It's not always like that, but sometimes it really pisses me off, honestly. Look at this, early experiments with X-rays. So we've got images of X-ray fishes, X-ray. Well, that I didn't see that before. That's pretty awesome. My goodness, there's a rat. Wow, that's pretty nice. Okay, I really have to go back here and check that page. Yeah, so that's the Public Domain Review. Last but not least, I want to go to the topic of fonts. And there's a pretty cool resource here. It's called Open Foundry. And it's a collection of mostly open source fonts. Most of them are hosted on GitHub or on places where people can, just maintain the design of these fonts. And I think it's a very good alternative to Google Fonts, because Google Fonts has masses of fonts, right? And these typographic files you can use for your work here are a bit more brutalist, right? They're a bit more dirty and edgy, but they're still pretty well done. But they have some edges. But this is a very well curated collection. And I'm a pretty big fan of this website. I really like it. So here are some experimental serif fonts that look quite different than the stuff we know. Some pretty bold typefaces here. I like that. So that's a pretty good resource for fonts. And I think that's it for now. Just post me if you have questions, just put them in the comments, and please share your own resources, share your own places where you get your data from. I'm really, really interested in what kind of places you visit to get your images, fonts, data, music, whatever. So see you soon, and bye-bye. Peace out.